Times tonight, people are talking about unity. Well, let me tell you something about that. I know at least 17 people are dead now in the soil because we believed in unity back in the 60s. But some of these folk that we were unifying with were snitches, pimps, simps, informants, and agents, and sworn officers of those alphabet agencies that were not friends of ours. And we've got Black Caucus people who want to take some of that particular three-letter alphabet agency and claim they're our friends. They're not. Anybody know how the FBI got started? Anybody? Not one of you do. Somebody over there. I saw a hand go up. The FBI got started before World War I because there was the first black world heavyweight champion. His name was Jack Johnson. Couldn't anybody beat this brother? And back then they didn't have 12-round or 15-round championship fights. You fought till somebody dropped, and they had 37-round bouts. He won one with was 56 rounds. But he had a white wife. And certain folk didn't like the idea that this big buck Negro was running around this big buck black man with a white wife and all of her friend girls. So they decided they were gonna get him. And they created the Federal Bureau of Investigation to set up what became the Mann Act. Anybody heard of the Mann Act? It's what they busted R. Kelly on and what they've got P. Diddy on right now, though they don't say it. In other words, the objective was to get rid of black men who were out there doing something with a grandstand perspective that offended some other folk. So they created the FBI. They came up with the Mann Act, and before World War I, they got Jack Johnson. He came through Georgia. Georgia did not acknowledge interracial marriage, so he's with his wife. They're going to go visit France, and they drove through this state for 15 minutes on the way to a seaport. When they stopped, the FBI, accompanied by U.S. Marshals, rushed the train, and they arrested Jack Johnson. They tried him, convicted him, he escaped and went to France. Well, his mama selfishly wanted to see him, so he tried to sneak back in, and they caught him. He served his time for that. 1 year, by the way, but he got 5 years because of the escape. So when he got out, he got killed in a car wreck, supposedly in 1946. So what does the Black Caucus want to do right now? They talk about the FBI is going to help you out. I don't buy that. Not at all. Because I was the last judge on that James Earl Ray case, and I can tell you that J. Edgar Hoover, who by the way it turns out to be a black man again, another one of these things where we sell ourselves out, he was passing, got run out of Louisiana with his family by the Klan for trying to pass. He set it up. He ordered the ending of surveillance for 48 hours before King got assassinated. The FBI supplied the weapons, the ammunition. They recruited a 2-man hit team from Quantico, Virginia, where the Marines have a sniper school, right across the tarmac from an FBI training academy. They sent them to Memphis, and with the collaboration of some Negroes in Memphis, they killed King. Where do we go from there? Well, isn't the Black Caucus supposed to be helping us out? Do they? You got a Black Caucus member right here locally, and what's in front of the church that he's supposed to be pastor of? Who out there is laying around with nowhere to go, homeless, under lean-tos, cardboard shelters, but that same person is trying to deal with being friendly to illegals who feloniously crashed the border. We don't have any problem with that. Anybody in here against reparations? Anybody in here against reparations? You would think the Black Caucus would be about reparations, wouldn't you? Do you know who the chairman of the Black Caucus's reparations committee is? A gay white Jew guy from Memphis, Tennessee named Steve Cohen. He's chairman of the Black Caucus's reparations committee. What the hell is wrong with that picture? Think about it. You don't get mad at that? You talking about reparations. How the hell do you think you're going to get it when the enemy is in charge of it? Why don't you ask these people some questions? This was supposed to be the center of everything. First time I came here was a little over 70 years ago. I wasn't but 5 or 6 years old. My parents were coming through here. Not too far from this place, some clowns tried to take my old man out. He was driving a DeSoto. I'm sitting in the back seat of the car. My mother's fooling around in the glove compartment. She used to like these little bitty Coca-Colas in the 6-ounce bottles that were really carbonated. She said, son, hold this for me. I had it propped up on my knee. Bullet came through the rear passenger door, shattered the bottle. I'm worried about my mother going off on me for breaking her coat. She was cool. She said, lay on the floor, son, it'll be all right. But the old man had been in the war. I said, oh, they're shooting at us. See, excitement. They fired 2 more bullets into the car. But that ain't nothing nice, and I haven't forgotten that. And every time I hear one of our people talking some of the stuff that we talk, and they don't understand that, I get angry. It's been a long time ago, but I get angry. I saw what happened when they built this airport out here. It was a nice opportunity for black business. But selfish Negroes didn't spread it around. And you know how some areas in Atlanta ain't too cool when it comes to economics? You know what I'm talking about. So why didn't these people spread it around instead of putting it all in their back pockets? They're scared to go out some places in this town. Oh, you know, you have to be very careful. It's dangerous out there. Yeah, that's your community. You're supposed to represent it, but you're scared to walk it. What's the matter with you? And then when you get in charge, you get to talking about they're picking on me because I am. All you're answering to is the voters, the black voters. So who are you getting picked on by when you rip off the black voters? You got some criminality going on in this town amongst your leadership. Why don't you do something about it? Oh, no. We can't do that because that would require some work. But we got to know everything about our favorite NBA team, NFL team, Atlanta Housewives. We got to know all those details. But we don't know anything about running a business. We buck dance, sing, and put on a show every time we get a chance, but we don't know anything about operating the finances that can do something with the money that we make for an industry. Why not? Anybody got a problem with telling the kids, all right, fine, you got a nice little layup, but you're only 5'9". You're only 6 feet. You're not going to make it in the NBA. Spend your time trying to learn how to make the money and doing something with it. This is the 21st century. And we have this thing stuck on stupid. Man, I'm going to get me some fruits and vegetables, man, when they give me some land, and I'm going to support myself. And how you going to keep it? You got an army or something? You got a posse on your side? This is the 21st century. It's science, technology, engineering, and math. Learn how the hell to work that. So you can create some new kind of field where it isn't 25 deep already with deep pockets handling everything. Start thinking in the future. We have to do these things. Meanwhile, what are we going to do about being those foes that respond to the decoy ducks? I'm going to hurt somebody's feelings, but we got a witch running for president. That woman is the worst kind of sleaze you can ever think of. I was in California when it was going down. And I used to represent 40 years ago a whole chunk of pimps and hoes in Memphis. And I know a hoe when I see one. When I see a hoe, I know she got a pimp. And I want to find out who the pimps are that we getting tricked out on the benefit of. Who are the pimps that this woman is working for? And I see some decent ladies out there. I've met a few of you. And I resent the fact that you got a hoe that's being your face. You see, tomorrow is yesterday today, so today was yesterday, and it will be tomorrow tomorrow. That's why we have to understand today. The hell did you just say? And you're going to fake off about being a Negro. I met a daddy. Sat next to the man for 2.5 hours at the Governor General's table down in Jamaica. My ex-wife asked him what he